Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first Chronicle Community Cup. This is a community-hosted event featuring some of Chronicle's first ever competitive players. Of course, at the time of recording, the game is still in closed beta, so plenty to come and hoping to pioneer the way for the tournament sort of competitive scene. Maybe, hopefully. Hopefully we'll do a good job, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. Today we have what is called the Ruby Brackets, which, for those of you who don't know, is, I believe, the round of 8 in a ordinary tournament format. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah,
you are completely right with that. Excellent. It is the round of 8.
The round of 8. So we're getting quite far into this tournament, and of course we hope to stream the round of 4, which I believe is the quarterfinals, semi-finals, one of those two, and of course the finals as well. Absolutely. So hopefully going to see some good series today, some good games, and hopefully it will be a lot of fun. I am joined, of course, by, as you just heard, Mod Voice, aka Mod Merchant, from JagX HQ, I suppose.
I am indeed. I'm indeed hailing from the JagX HQ.
You're not at HQ right now, but
I'm not at HQ right now, but it makes it sound cooler if I say I am. So,
and of course,
yes, I am.
And of course, Zalx, who I believe is our community moderator on the Reddit, and has been mostly responsible for this tournament, actually organising it, getting it together, and of course, actually creating all these actual wonderful assets, or what should I say, pictures and stats and things. What we're looking at right here is ZashUn and Glenn, who have given us permission to show this, and this is their win rates, as you can see, and this will of course be the first game, so this is the nice background screen before we get in. Do you guys want to say anything before we start the games up?
I honestly just want to say that screen is fantastic, so well done to XLs for making that. That is absolutely beautiful. Pretty interesting focus on Raptor there. That 66% win rate is pretty scary. It's not the biggest sample size of games.
Yeah.
But it's pretty scary. What you see on Glenn is strong ratios across the board.
Yeah.
Indeed,
like, that is a guy who can play Chronicle.
Yeah,
definitely.
And of course, this is a best of 5. The games will be played. All players will be playing best of 5s today, which is of course first to 3 wins. Though the rules format for this event is that each game each game that you win has to be with a separate legend. So a best of 5, which is first to 3 wins, and each of those wins must be with a separate legend. That's not necessarily the rules that should be used for other tournaments, but certainly other rules that will be used for this tournament, and of course we're testing things, it's early days, and of course there will be much more legends in the future as well. As of the time of recording, only these 4, the original starting ones, the vanilla legends, I suppose we could call them.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic to see. This is really like the pioneer tournament. A lot of people ask me about tournaments all the time, so I feel like it's just a yes, of course tournaments will continue well up to and beyond open beta. They are going to be a lot grander in scale. This is really sort of a pioneer early tournament that is just fantastic.
Results whilst as best I could. So this will be everything. This should be good, and it looks like we are good to go in the chat there. So have you guys got the VODs up?
We do indeed.
I'll tell you when to press play. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going. Go. I'm just going to turn OBS down a little bit. Sorry to interrupt, but just quickly editing this message in. Unfortunately, the first half of the games we did have some audio issues where I was slightly louder than everyone else, but we do fix that, and this is the only video that contains anything like that. All of the other videos have perfect audio, so without further ado, enjoy the rest of the series. But this is game number 1 between Glenn and ZashUn. Spawning, well, I can't really say that for this. It's not an RTS game, so nobody's spawning in the north or south of the map, no. But as you can see, I have edited in the opening hands, and that is consistent across, so that should be fine. Should be good. What we got here?
These are some pretty interesting opening hands. I'd say that the Glenn, our Lindsay player, is definitely coming out of this with a slightly better opening hand. There's too high of a health investment from Zash there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Double Void Brawler, while nice on paper, is actually a loss of 10 health, which can be quite a lot, especially when you've got a work order sitting there.
Yeah, thankfully, Glenn does have, Zash does have the Calphite Worker into the Monolith Chamber there, so he's going to be pretty okay with...
Yeah, that's pretty okay, but I mean, when you see things like Lindsay with a first is dangerous, like an Ogre Brute and a work order, when you've got that first turn advantage there, in terms of that grouping, it's pretty nice. It
is, but Calphite Worker is actually a wonderful counter for the Void Brawler. That 1/1 weapon is going to bring him right back up to 2 attack, and the extra attack from the Monolith Chamber as well is going to bring it up to 3. So that Void Brawler shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yes, it's actually a very, very nice way to play around predicted griefing. That's actually yeah, like we say, these are good Chronicle players, and that is an excellent move to be making. Really glad we didn't see him try to invest too heavily, and instead we saw him going for the sensible option.
Yeah, fairly safe play. I assume the Void Brawls are there. There they are, gonna get them no problem. Oh, this work order with the Gravite Longsword though. 4+2.
That is big. That weapon's gonna break.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to take a lot of damage in this one.
10+5, so, you know, effectively now on 13, 12 life there.
7 HP off of this.
Of course has 3 armor as well, but...
oh, of course, yeah. So, yeah, okay, he's going to go down to...
But still a lot of health damage early on.
6 armor.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this...
I mean, that's the power of Work Order. Work Order is just so violent a card.
Yeah.
Especially against a Raptor. I mean, that's what I said about health investment. Just one hit from that Void Brawler, and look how low this ZashUn is.
Yeah, Chapter 1, 7 life. Yeah, he has 6 armor, but here we go, going into Chapter 2. We're clearly seeing a griefing style Linza coming out of Glenn here, through and through, of course, with opening with that Ogre Brute into the work order with that Gravite Longsword.
Really tough hand from ZashUn there as well. I think this one might be over before too long. I mean, they've got the KGP there, but...
Yeah, switching over to Glenn's perspective here, so we'll have to see what he's doing. He's probably not too happy with that. 2 D-longs, not particularly useful. In fact, nothing is there.
That's just taunting him as well, because what he needs right now is to kill that Dagonoth for the health, and he's just not going to have the D-long there to do it.
Yeah, but fortunately for him, looks like ZashUn's going to slow down a bit there. Has got the heal, and, you know, he had the 2 gold for it. I'm not entirely sure what was in his hand, but certainly... you know, he is playing a safe chapter as well. Yes, he didn't play anything.
Yeah, Glenn's recognised he doesn't have to be. You know, he's in no way on the back foot here. Like, Glenn can just use that Varric Museum, stock up on stats, and actually he's going to have quite a nice round.
He is. Tool belt here.
Tool belt's going to go in a thin air, but you know, it's not a big loss against a Raptor. I mean, it would have been nice to take out one of those D-longs, but not a disaster when that doesn't hit.
No.
Definitely not.
But, you know, a good predict to put it down as well, I think. Sergeant Slimetoe is certainly a very popular card, very useful for, you know, getting up that.
There's a Karam in this Glen deck. That's going to be really scary right now.
That is true. I'm not sure if he does run it, though. You know, he is running this barrel chest.
Running Karam, no.
Yeah, so this barrel chest, you know, I'm not sure how you'd fit it all in. We would have to see. But what does Glenn do here? I mean, just a barrel chest? Is he going to repurpose?
If I was Glenn, I'd work order and hope I hit something.
Equally though, what if you do barrel chest? You take 8 damage certainly, but you would have a 3
you buff that weapon up
3/3
nice,
weapon.
But then you have to, then you're very dependent on your next round builds.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, repurpose going to play it safe there because he's not got much follow up for that weapon.
Really nice. It looks like he's going to whiff it straight into a KGP agent, however.
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
That is a mighty penguin.
Yeah,
it's not going to be quite
he's going to hit straight through it. I haven't seen you know, what his decision was. I was looking at. Yeah, there it is. So you knew it was a penguin coming up. Yeah, he's going to slam right through that with his 5 AP. It's really no avail here, and that's partly the risk of this. Once the Raptor gets going, the sort of griefing cards don't tend to do much, but equally can be very, very strong considering the large creatures.
That's a nice restore potion coming in there as well. Hopefully, actually, the draw on there is almost as important as the health at this point.
Yep. Zash has pulled himself back into this game by the looks of it, especially with that turn coming in from Glenn. Was not as strong as the previous.
Absolutely, and with that Coloromancer in hand as well, he's going to be pretty happy about that. Does only have 6 base attack, so yes, he can kill it in 1 hit, but he's not going first. He's not going to get that guaranteed slot 1 kill on it. I'm going to switch over to his perspective there.
Here that there is no griefing going to go down on that,
so he's safe.
I hope for his sake he goes for it, because Coloromancer is a very powerful card. You see, like our Glen player here, he's not got too much. He's got the utility there. He's still got a little bit of griefing with that tool belt, which is actually going to hit the Slimetoes pretty nicely. That's actually quite a nice development. However, it could have been better.
If it was 1 turn later, it would have hit the Jad, right?
Yeah, no, it is going to hit it in time for the Jad, so he is going to take a hit off that Jad.
Oh yeah, I think
He's first.
That it was a lucky predict there. It would be, I mean, it was good.
It's a really nice shot, yeah. It's a really nice shot. He's going to take a hit off the Slimetoes and the Jad because of that.
Yeah, I think that weapon there, that would have been such a clean turn, wouldn't it? Look at that, the Slimetoes would have killed the Jad, he'd have 10 attack, he had to 1-hit the Sentinel as well. That tool belt was very clutch and has done a lot of damage, like 15 plus 8, that's a huge tool belt.
Yes, Still seeing 8 AD on this Raptor though, and when you start getting to that level of AD, there's a lot that you can do.
Yeah, and I think in this matchup as well, specifically this one, Linza, unless they are running double Karam, can struggle to really get the Raptors' attack down low enough for that. That final fight can be very tough for the Linza, as they're not able to do as much damage in the final fight, and that's really where this is going to end up. Exactly, Raptor really wants to take it there. No cards coming out from Glenn here.
Absolutely tanking this one out. Which is really nice. Double bar fight is a beautiful pull on the last round against the Linza as well. Especially when you're second, it's that second advantage. Last card of the game, you can bar fight and break a weapon.
That is absolutely true. That final slot that you get that cannot be countered, and it means you can either guaranteed take a weapon in, or make sure they don't have one hit.
Guaranteed last action of every round.
Yeah, 8 armor. Going up for the
straight up to this Raptor. This is Raptor's game right now. There's no way this Linza's going to win in the final fight.
Yeah, I think this Linza was very, very reliant on trying to kill the enemy by his own creatures, really. All that griefing, and I think that win condition did not end up very well. And as you can see in the final fight here, going in with very low attack. Yeah, he's got high health, but Raptor's, a couple of hits from a Raptor at this point in the game, and you're toast.
Yep, you're completely right there. I think Glenn's deck was. Is quite reliant on his draw, and it looks like he didn't get any draw cards during this game. Which
there was that barrel chest all game long, which never really saw any play. But here we go, game number 1. Looks like ZashUn going to be cleaning this one up.
And that's what we said from those stats. That's a scary Raptor, and he definitely has a scary Raptor. That is game 1 to ZashUn.
Scary Raptor confirmed. So the score is now 1-1, and you'll see throughout the course of this, rubies will appear on the screen and move over to to show the win there. But do we have any post-game analysis we'd like to talk about before getting into the next one?
I mean, I think that, that really just shows the power of statistical analysis in card games. We looked at that, and the first thing we said was, that is a scary Raptor, and it turned out to be a pretty scary Raptor.
Yeah, so. But look at his look at that. Total games played 424 with Ariane on a 60% win rate. So if that was Glenn's Raptor, the Ariane coming up is...
That was Glenn as Linza.
Oh, it? Whoops. Oh, I see.
ZashUn was Raptor.
Well, if it was...
Sorry.
Oh yeah, 66%, and that was his class. I see what we're talking about now. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a scary Raptor. 66% wins is very, very good results. You can't, even with 76 games only, 66% is very, very high. But, my point still stands about Glenn. I think he's by no means out of this series. Has,
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, look at all of those the classes he's clearly had a lot of practice with, considering the number of games played there and the win percentages across the board.
When I hear Glenn, I think Ariane.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he pulls out as Ariane.
I think so too. 424. Alright though, so shall we get game number 2 underway?
Yep.
We should, definitely.
Alright, I'll tell you when to press play in 3, 2, 1. Alright, game number 2 has begun. Looks like Glenn has selected Ariane for this, of course. Both players will be going in blind. Glenn seems to have known what he wanted to pick right off the bat. He was going to queue up with Ariane and ZashUn.
Well, he's reeling from that loss, so going straight to your strength makes sense to me.
Yeah.
He knows he can play Ariane. He knows Ariane's going to be a very strong pick for him. So, especially against the Linza. I mean, Linza's not got much in the way of mitigating an Ariane's damage.
Yeah, and true, and you don't want to queue up with the same legend twice in a row, perhaps. Maybe some mind games going on. But here's the opening hands. Let's see what they mulligan for.
Yeah, the fact is that if Linza's planning to play Grief, even though this looks more like a weapon deck to me, yeah, this is a weapon deck, this is a strike deck. Because Grief Linza has almost no application against Ariane.
Yeah,
that's such a nice combo.
It's a very good combo to start with.
I can already tell.
Yeah, this is definitely one attack Ariane.
Well, we haven't seen any one-attack cards yet. Could just be an aggressive Ariane. But I think you're probably absolutely right. But opening up with the Haunted Soul, I absolutely love that because, of course, you want to get that damage in on your opponent before they have the opportunity to stack any armor. And then you've got the Wind Strike afterwards, which does health damage directly, so it would bypass armor. And I know these are very small things, but they do matter perhaps later on in the game.
Big, yeah. I mean, when you put a lot of small things together, you end up with a pretty big thing.
This is true.
And what I say is that we've already seen that Yoga Shaman up there waiting to get killed. And Linza's gone for, ZashUn's gone for a pretty safe opening, like a normal standard stat scaling opening.
Yeah.
But that Crassian is actually going to massively play
against them.
It is. That two draw cards can deal an extra 4 damage
on that Yoga.
Yeah.
And that means all the world with Linza. I mean, so
although we do see Linza going in with a nice amount of gold.
Nice gold.
He's going to be pretty loaded going up. He's not going to have much health, unfortunately. But he is going to go in pretty stacked.
I think we're looking at about 10 damage here, considering he's going second. which is quite a lot. Yeah, there it is. Ouch. He could have avoided, notably, 4 damage had he placed the Cressium Warrior at the very end of the turn here, because then, obviously, he wouldn't have those 2 extra cards in hand. So, worth pointing out that Jorga should go at the end to give them opportunity to draw those cards, and that is exactly what Glenn was thinking, and he did manage to get, 4 extra damage in there because of that. But Chapter 2 here, Linza, what hand is that?
Honestly, if I was Glenn right now with Ariane, I'd actually be very tempted to just straight up tank that Joga.
I was thinking the same. I mean, that Joga's guaranteed quite a bit of damage.
As long as you don't take any damage in those first couple of cards.
He's going first. He can play 4 cards this turn, and that means, he has, if we switch over to Zash here, he could play 2, he'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, that's 8 damage, and that'd be one off killing him, perhaps.
Absolute guaranteed killing, and what that would essentially be saying to Zash is, you've got 1 card to do a bit of damage to me in, or I win.
Yeah.
So actually, I'd argue that that's not the strongest play that Glenn could have gone for right here.
Yeah.
He could have ended the game right here.
I think
he's probably going to win anyway. Let's be honest. He hasn't even gone down to 1 attack. If he's got any win surges sitting there.
This is true. Does have the Wizard Mind Bomb there. Going to pick up some resources. Go ahead.
To avoid the Drunken Dwarf, like imagine if there was a Drunken Dwarf in that last slot. It would really set them back. So actually, I would argue that this isn't the best play that Glenn could have made right now.
No. I totally agree with that.
I think, though, for the time being, Zash, though, he hasn't managed to really make anything of it. He's gotten away with not dying with, with that very, very little amount of health he had. He is investing quite heavily in this weapon, but I think this is a little too slow, and, Chapter 3 is going second. He does have that Coloromancer in hand. I guess he's building up to that, and really that was his only option. But no health gain, and that's, it's going to punish him for it. Here we go. What does he draw? Does he draw lethal? Yes, wait, where is it? No, Enfeeble Jorga?
Enfeeble Jorga.
Enfeeble Yoga's the play here.
Yeah, or possibly Bunyip Yoga, that would also work, of course.
Or you could just go Ultra Trolley and just...
Yeah, straight up Yoga.
Door everywhere.
I think here, last chapter, he could have done exactly this. I think it would have left him on 1 health. I think I added up, had the Haunted Soul as well, so could have killed him. But here, the Jorga is going to hit straight through that, and he does see the lethal this time around. And picking up the win at the score, looks like the series is going to be going back up to 1-1.
There we go. Like I said, that Glen Ariane is terrifying. Like, that's a very powerful Ariane deck right there. Makes use one of my favourite cards in the game, that Yoga Shaman. Yeah, I'm not surprised that game went how it did, to be honest.
Considering his track record with Ariane, and also the potency of that, it looked like a very well-tuned deck with, no unnecessary cards in it, really, just, straight up damage, consistent damage. I think it was more of the, the consistent damage Ariane as opposed to the sort of miracle one that draws lots of cards and tries to blast them down. But, a refined deck, and here clearly his practice taking him the victory.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive, I mean, we saw there, he could have killed her in 6 cards. Very aggressive stuff.
But that's what the 1 attack Ariane is, isn't it? It's the first 2 chapters that matter.
Unfortunately, Grief Linza isn't normally particularly great against 1 attack Ariane, but if he'd buffed that Joe Shaman up at all, it would have been huge.
It's absolutely true. I think, his ZashUn's thought process there with the Linza was that he had just saw his opponent queue up with Raptor in the first game, and, perhaps was, that is right, isn't it?
Yeah, he queued it with Raptor.
I have a feeling, that specific deck we just saw didn't have, it did certainly had health gain in it, but it looked like a deck that was investing in a weapon, trying to build that up, and, that can be quite effective against the Raptor there. Unfortunately, Glenn did queue up the Ariane, and took out a quick win there. But 1-1, this series shaping up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
It's definitely as well, if you consider both of the players now have both used their signature lights.
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 3 in this best of 5 series between Glenn and ZashUn. Here we have Glenn playing as Raptor versus Linza here. So
I think we should just take a moment to appreciate how you said ZashUn there. That was pretty good. ZashUn!
Yep.
ZashUn.
Nice. I like that.
ZashUn. What do we have in the opening hand, though? I'm glad you appreciate it.
We're going to see Glenn as Raptor now, which is pretty good. We've seen ZashUn's scary, scary Raptor already. So it's going to be time to see if Glenn can match up to that excellent Raptor game shown by ZashUn earlier. Count Draenors are powerful cards to have in your hand early on, though. Any big draws from that, and you're going to be laughing.
Yeah,
he drew 2 of them as well.
And he's got the White Wolf there, which will enable it, should he be able to... But actually nothing to use it on, so to speak. Looks like he's going to play a Wilderness early.
Yeah, pretty quiet round from Glenn, definitely. He is No, he's decided against the Draenor, which is probably the wise decision there.
Yeah.
That is an interesting wilderness placement. He's going first, so he knows that
He's trying to take durability.
Yeah, if he equips that, his opponent is going second, he's going to equip that weapon in slot 1, and then if he tries to kill something like a Dust Devil, there won't be enough durability for that effect to resolve. But here's no Dust Devil going to come out.
Really nice play. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any effect from it, but that does not discredit it from being a nice play.
No, his opponent absolutely quite likely
really good foresight that will help you hit that higher tiers of play.
Absolutely.
I am wondering if Glenn ever closes his friends list during this match.
Yeah, I'm wondering this as well. This is sadly not going to do too much damage. Well, 5 damage, still pretty good. But the Wilderness, I feel like in this deck, if it is the sort of Dark Stripe Raptor innovated by Wolf, that Wilderness is a very combo-ish card that you want to use when you're going for the lethal. You combo it down with Dark Beast into Tokash with another Wilderness.
Wilderness is a really nice card. I mean, it's still a nice little chip away at Linza early on, but it doesn't have the calamitous effect we see from it later in decks like this.
True. It gives him the option to heal using it early on, whereas if you do that 30 damage all in one go, in one chapter, which you can get to eventually as Raptor, that's your game plan there. But nice to use it early on, can disrupt those spend effects such as the Fremenic Crafter and the Dust Devil. Doesn't hit them, but certainly does not discredit the play.
Perfectly counters a Gravite Longsword as well, which is a very popular choice for those. So yeah, actually a really nice play.
Really nice. But here,
unfortunately, it doesn't pay off. That's a card game though, risk and reward, and it was a good risk to make.
Yeah, what do we have going here though? He's got the Count Draenor, and he's going to have the health,
missing.
Jad's
going to come here.
Jad. So he's got 3 attack. He'll go up to 4, and that's he can deal effectively 8 damage to that Jad. If he's expecting any grief from the Linza, like a Fern, perhaps a well-placed Fern could hit that Jad. But considering it's in the final slot, it would just bounce off the White Wolf. It would mean he took quite a nice bit of damage from it, but still. And he can still lose 1 attack.
He's already identified though from the first round that this isn't a griefing Linza. It was a pretty standard opening round. And normally from Griefing Lindsay, you see them really aggressively mulliganing for that attack loss in the first round.
For Ogre Brutes,
so I think he's actually probably pretty comfortable with doing this, to be honest.
Absolutely. What do the Linza deck here does some sort of strike Linza with lesser demons in it, which seems to
it's an
that
interesting one.
focus.
Yeah, I'm interested in the Skeleton Warriors. They're a nice source of gold, yes, but I kind of question their value. I mean, I'd much rather see something like a Barbarian Warrior or something, if I'm honest.
Yeah, what, for the 2/3 weapon and the 1 gold?
Yeah, just for the weapon. It just synergizes nicer with the spends.
I'm thinking, perhaps Skeleton Warrior. It's not like Ali Morrison in the sense that you can play the Skeleton Warrior to get gold whilst you have a weapon. That is, a notable thing of it, and it's certainly less risky than Mimic because Mimic's going to deal 5 damage.
Mimic is that emphasizes risk and reward.
It does, yes. So Skeleton Champion, perhaps that choice, to get the gold for the weapons. He's got 2 Thurgos in his hand there. This looks like a weapon-focused deck. Interesting Cal Fight there. The Raging Cal Fight tech choice. If his opponent gets too much armor, we'll have to see if that comes into play.
Actually, a very nice option here, especially as he's happened to luck against a Raptor with it. So interesting one to see right there.
This is true.
I'd like to see that Slime Toes come out. I don't know why it's not, to be honest.
His Slime Toes, yeah. He could start,
I mean, he's going for the Ice Warrior there, but I don't know. It just feels like he should buff that Slime Toes weapon up. I mean, I don't see an Artisan's Workshop there, so that is a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, perhaps he's waiting for it, He perhaps wants the extra durability from that Ice Warrior. Going to put the Thurgo on it. And, that's still going to be a pretty big weapon. He's going to be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that we don't see any Calfight Emissaries from Glenn here. Calfight Emissary is such a powerful card.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
I would like to see them teched here. I mean, obviously that, hindsight is 2020, but I would always take at least 1. It's just such a nice tech card. It annihilates weapons.
It's so strong, right? You deal 4 weapon damage. No, is it 3? It's 3 weapon damage and 5 armor. It's a super strong card, especially for a Raptor.
And you gain a gold as well, which is also...
And you gain a gold, yeah.
Yeah, a very good file, especially for Raptor. Because of that, you're going to have the base damage to kill it there. It can sometimes be quite difficult to fit it in this, this Dark Strike Raptor that was, innovated by Wolf. Because
Glenn did actually have lethal as well there.
Yeah, he's got lethal with the Tokash coming in for
I didn't see that. Whoops. But nice, going into the Dark Beast for the +3 and the strike, and carrying that extra attack through into the Tokash. They have double strike for the lead.
But guys, something to bear in mind is that we made Tokash useless apparently. So
Tokash still very
striking twice in 1 slot. I mean, the slot value of that alone is just astronomical. Very powerful game from Glenn there, and I'm glad that his Raptor could carry him to that win because I wasn't sure if he could live up to ZashUn's Raptor there.
Yeah, I mean, that means Glenn takes it for a 2-1 right now.
2-1, and this is now match points.
Match points, yeah.
Nice
synchronization on that match point there.
Match
That's
point.
good.
Yeah, we're well trained in the commentary, perhaps. Yeah, match point's always exciting. You got to point it out.
It is exciting. It is exciting. As soon as you get to that finality of like, okay, now something can happen. It's always good. It's really nice to see Zash have points on the board as well, because that means that truly anything can happen from here.
We've seen Glenn use both Raptor and Ariane now, so he's got a choice between Ozan and Linza. What do you guys think he's going to go for?
Glenn, I would imagine goes for Ozan.
Glenn here, but considering those stats, he's got not enough games played for a win rate to be, an interesting statistic. If we look at the statistics page,
it's less predictable though. I really see it as less predictable. I think Linza, if he plays it, it's going to be a griefing Linza.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
ZashUn seems pretty set on that Linza deck. Unless I'm mistaken, that's the second time we've seen him playing it.
Yeah.
And so you might try to target against that. And if his Ozan's got any tech cards that are good against that Linza, we could very easily see an Ozan come out here.
We could do, but those 86 games of practice Glenn has, we will see.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah, well, let's get into this, shall we? And hope that it's not deafening. If it is, then I'll take a moment to turn it down. I know how to do that now. It shouldn't be a problem. But if you'd like to start... okay, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, here we have Glenn versus ZashUn for game number 4.
Linza mirror matchup.
It's a mirror match, indeed.
ZashUn is really going all in on this Linza deck, which, given its past failings, now it's safe to say, I am a bit surprised at. It's sort of if at first you don't succeed. So we're going to see work order and tool belt. You're against a Linza and you start with a tool belt in your hand. You're having a good time.
Pretty pleased about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep the Dwarven Miner though? Perhaps you're looking for those cards. Doesn't look like he is anticipating on drawing them. Does start with the Dust Devil there. Nice opening for him. Yeah. And absolutely is going to slam that down. Let's switch on over to Zash. Looks like he's going to start with Ali Morrisane. And there's not really a lot else he can do. Could potentially face tank the Barbarian Warrior to get the...
Kind of nice not having much to do there, though, because it means that essentially that Dust Devil isn't going to do anything for now. It's still a massive hindrance that you have to deal with, but there is going to be no immediate consequences to getting Dust Deviled, which is always good.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So, yep, gonna bring him down to 1 base attack, which, isn't too good for ZashUn. It's quite hard to, to get that back up as a Linza, because I think the only thing you're really going to include in your deck is the KGP agent. Certainly in this tournament, as the Kazaj tournament is, is a diamond card, which is disallowed in this tournament, as it is early, and not too many people had diamonds when we began the tournament. But yeah, nice, nothing really that turn, so doesn't lose any health. He's still at full life, and this looks like a weapon-focused deck, so should he get that weapon, that 1 less attack isn't going to matter too much, as it does give you far more attack than enough attack to kill things. But Chapter 2 here, going to start with a work order and no weapon from Glenn.
Yeah, which has that wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Work order is now a spend effect. This is pre-patch, this game. So work order is now a spend effect to essentially avoid you doing things such as this. However, it looks like we're just going to see a Major Zamorak coming out from Zash. So not going to be any effect on that work order whatsoever.
And I think here, looking to just play some cards. He knows that strike isn't going to be too useful, but he wants to bring his hand size down from 10 to 7 so that he can, draw those 3 cards at the start of the next chapter.
It's absolutely the correct play in this situation.
That is true. Sadly, it's not a battle, so should his opponent, equip a weapon, he could interact with it. But strike doesn't do that. It's not a battle there, and it's not going to use up any durability. Tool belt coming out. A nice tool belt there in slot 2 because his opponent's going second. That would affect the card he got in slot 1, so it would remove that weapon. And then a Major Mary Rancor at the very end of the chapter there. Nice. Perhaps Glenn wanted to carry a weapon through to the next round. I respect that decision from ZashUn to lay down Major Mary.
Very, very good preamp there as well, especially when he's clearing his hand in order to draw more. There's no reason to not play that.
Absolutely. So his hand's still very bricked at chapter 3 here, and Sergeant Slimetoes looking good. I guess then he could follow into a barrel chest, but he's lacking the gold.
That's a real option for him right now. Yeah.
Yeah, he could kill the Krasian Warrior as well, or the Skeleton Warrior, and that then brings him up to the ability to Artisan's Workshop, and then he can get this weapon rolling. But it is now chapter 3, and because of that, it's a little. I wonder if there's enough time to get a big enough weapon to start, getting those revenant works out and doing work.
I think as long as this goes okay for him, there is still time.
Yeah.
as long as he draws well as well. This is going to be unfortunately quite draw dependent, which means that I'd really recommend him killing that Skeleton Warrior because he's going to want the gold if things like Thurgo's come down.
And he needs the space in his hand with the Krasian Warrior going down as well, otherwise you're not going to be able to accept all those cards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, does press the play button, or is he still he's thinking about it?
I'm not sure what I think of that Krasian being played there, to be honest. I don't agree with that as a player.
I wouldn't have played it myself.
No,
I would have much rather seen the Skeleton Warrior and even maybe the Barrel Chest as well.
Thinking Barrel Chest. Get that weapon rolling. You want to get that attack up quickly so that you can kill those Revenant Orcs and start spanking your opponent in the face, because that's really a win condition. Yeah. Fortunately, oh dear, that's a Krasian.
There is going to be a work order going down on that Krasian, though.
Yeah, look at that.
Which is going to make a little dent
in his health.
In ZashUn's health, yeah.
But still going to kill it in 2 hits. Only uses 1 durability there. So in terms of building the weapon, it's not set back too far. And
nice
I don't think Glenn is going to be
doing... no, it's not because he hasn't got a weapon.
Yeah, it looks like Glenn isn't... Wait, yeah, no, Glenn isn't, like, looking to do burst damage here. I think he wants to get to that final fight. He's this sort of tanky style Linzer that wants to build up armor, decrease their opponent's attack, and increase their own attack, and then win in the final fight here. So, you know, being on 18 life is okay. The work order, you know, I guess true, there are work orders and other grief cards in there, so, you know, perhaps should be concerned about his health, but I think he's okay for the time being.
Okay, as long as he starts chipping away Glenn's armor, because otherwise Glenn is just going to go in, and it's irrelevant what weapon you have. If Glenn's sitting on 20, 30 armor, it's going to be hell to break through it.
It is, definitely. And as we can see from Zash's hand again, it looks like he's breaking. There's not much he can do this turn. And we are going into the final chapter. Yeah, it is. And we are going into the final chapter next turn as well.
What do you... 2, 4... I feel like he needs to get that Barrel Chest down. But it looks rather difficult to do that. He's going to play the Sergeant Slime Toes. I'd like to see that in slot 2 and then a Barrel Chest in slot 3. Get that +2/2, get that weapon up to a 5/3 weapon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's thinking he's replaced the Skeleton Warrior with a Barrel Chest.
There. Oh no, he's gonna take quite a lot of damage there. He's gonna replace his weapon. Okay, he notices it. He knows that. He's having a hard time, and it looks like not gonna play very many cards at all. The order in which to play them there, kind of got him. But thankfully for him, his opponent doesn't look like he's gonna be playing much either. So
looks like Glenn's going open road.
Going for a nice walk in the country.
Yep,
that's right.
Not much happening this chapter.
Not at
all.
all.
To be fair, not much happening this chapter is a problem for Zash. He's got 1 chapter to claw this back.
Yeah.
And because he's only played 1 card.
So his win conditions at this point are the Pulverizers, which don't look like they're going to be too useful, and carrying a giant weapon into the final fight. That could be really useful, but looks like
there's very little he can do here.
Yeah, there's no weapon destruction.
We're seeing a second repurpose there as well, which he's not going to go for. Honestly, I'd just stack up the repurpose. I'd have a look at how far behind Zash is and just go, look, this guy isn't going to build up a weapon where he can break through 50 points of effective HP. Especially off of 18. He's not healing at all.
Yeah, and he can...
No.
Personally, I would have went for that repurpose. I mean, the Gravite Longsword is nice. That's a lot of damage gain. It is nice. But on the safe side, I would have just went for the repurpose, to be honest.
Yeah. It could even just repurpose afterwards. This existing play still does a lot of burst damage, gets him a bit lower, and you get that 10 extra HP as well. And that weapon isn't going to be... It's going to be like a 4-1, something like that.
Yeah.
A 1-1.
He should barrel chest it first. He should barrel chest and then go for the Pulverize.
There we go.
She's not going to. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There you go. My voice seeped through the channels of time, and now he's doing that. But yeah, that's a much better combo coming in there from Glenn.
Yeah, no Pulverize.
ZashUn, however, is he's not in an easy spot right now. There's very little he can do. He's just going to do a Slime Toes and a Dwarven Ancestor and try to carry something off. But this is looking very much so like it's going to be game, set, and match.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out he can't play that Barrel Chest. He is, on 1 base attack lower, and I think he's afraid of taking that 8 damage. And absolutely, you would be. There's, it's a lot of.
There's
earlier
no
I mentioned to play.
way he can trade off health.
Yeah, earlier I mentioned that you should have killed the Barrel Chest, but actually didn't have the attack to do that. Worth
I think it's safe to say that Dust Devil has done a fair bit of damage to ZashUn.
He's going to play it anyway. Yeah, play the Dwarven Miner first and then the Barrel Chest if you... Oh no, but again, probably for the best that he's not playing it there. But looks like we're going to head along the road there. The 4-1 weapon, the Artisan's Workshop, going to get a really big weapon off the Barrel Chest, and you can see the concede. ZashUn can see it. He knows he's lost here. He can see the rest of the chapter. But sadly, the concede button does not work yet, so he's going to have to watch painfully as his opponent...
That is true. He is forced to watch his untimely demise. I think that was actually, of the cards he had, that's the best he could do. He was
definitely.
To be blunt, going into that final chapter, he was never going to win. Like, he just hit his... And honestly, I think ZashUn's downfall here was probably caused by his faith in this Linzer deck.
Yeah, I think...
He's played it to 3 straight losses. Like, honestly, after 2, just cut your losses. Try something else. It's not working. Your opponent, as soon as Glenn saw Linzer again, he's like, well, I know exactly what you're going for. Like, there's no... I think a large part of, especially playing in this sort of format, is bringing something unexpected.
Definitely.
And if you're just going to go for straight ahead, going just to the same deck again and again, it's going to bite you. And I think that's really something that played against him here. I'm actually quite surprised that he went for that. I think that really will have been a large part of him losing there.
I think so as well. But ZashUn, did pick up one win in the early portion of this. I think the first game, did go to him as his Raptor. Clearly, if you look at the stats here, quite competent with Raptor, very good as Raptor. 66% wins. So, that does end the series, though, 1-3 in Glenn's favour. But a nice series, especially